Hey, what's up my friends? My name is Bill. Welcome to Cars That Last. On today's video, the top 5 sport utility vehicles that last 300,000 miles or more. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This channel is about how to make your car last a long time without costing a fortune. Sport utilities are super popular. These are examples of sport utility vehicles that can last 300,000 miles, but I generally don't recommend buying a sport utility vehicle with 300,000 miles. But buy the ones that can make it that far. The interesting thing about some of the vehicles in this video is that some of the newer vehicles aren't necessarily as reliable as some of the older vehicles. We're going to talk about that. If you like this kind of video, make sure to check out my most recent videos, the top 5 cars that last 300,000 miles here, and the top 10 trucks that last 300,000 miles here. Now, before we get into the top 5, at the end of this video, I'll share with you the top 10 sport utility vehicles that last 300,000 miles. And today's viewer ride comes from Clint in Minnetonka, Minnesota. He actually has one of the top vehicles. It's a 2004 GMC Yukon XL, same thing as a Suburban. He's got 251,000 miles on the odometer, has the original engine and transmission, and he still plans on driving it for a long time. SUV number 5, Jeep fans rejoice. It's the Jeep Grand Cherokee. There were 4 Jeep Grand Cherokees in my survey with more than 300,000 miles. The highest mileage Jeep Grand Cherokee was a 2006 with a 3.7 liter 6-cylinder engine, had 382,705 miles. The average for the Jeeps for mileage, 321,993. These ranged from 1995 to 2006. Some of the Jeep fans know the 90s Jeeps had an inline 6-cylinder 4-liter motor that was legendary for reliability. It was easy to work on and would last a long time, had good horsepower and good torque, and Jeep fans know that that's good power for some serious off-roading. Overall reliability for Jeeps has been average. Make sure to check car complaints. There was no older standout year that had significant complaints in any category. Just make sure to look up your car if you're interested in buying one so that you know what you're getting into. SUV number 4 is the Chevy Tahoe. There were 6 Tahoes with more than 300,000 miles. The highest one was a 2004 with 381,126 miles. The average mileage of the 6 was 338,477. These ranged from the years 1999 to 2004. Now, there are some issues with some newer Tahoes. I'm going to talk more about that when we get into vehicle number 1. So stay tuned. Toyota 4Runner. One of my personal favorites. If you guys know the reference to the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, there's a Mustang in there called Eleanor. This is my Eleanor. I've wanted this truck since it was brand new in 2000, 2001, 2002. It's my favorite model year for it, and I just cannot seem to get my hands on one. My needs changed during my life. I just can't get one, but one of these days I'm going to get one. It's going to be on this channel. Stay tuned. The highest mileage Toyota 4Runner was a 2005 model, had 399,452 miles. The average of the 7 was 343, 358, and these ranged from the years 1994 to 2005. Very, very reliable SUVs overall, very low complaints overall. Every year has just been consistent one year after the other. The most common complaint with the older ones, a 2003, 2004, there's some complaints about cracked dashboards. Overall, these vehicles hold up well. As I put in one of my recent videos, the bodies hold up well, the rust as well, which is important for places like where I live in Minnesota. So something to consider with that. I would have no problem looking for a 4Runner that's been in Minnesota. The most common complaint with rust there is on the front and rear bumpers. Okay, SUV number 2 is the Chevy Suburban. There were 7 Suburbans nationwide with over 300,000 miles. I actually did a video, I'll put it right here, on should you buy a Suburban with high miles. And I have a friend of mine that has over 300,000 miles, and I made a video of it. The highest mileage Suburban for sale had 348,874 miles. That was a 2005 model. The average was 316,604. These spanned from the years 1998 to 2006. Again, problems and complaints, stay tuned for the #1 vehicle. And the SUV with the most vehicles over 300,000 miles nationwide is the GMC Yukon. I guess they are professional grade, right? There were 8 vehicles more than 300,000 miles. The highest one was a 2004 model with 421,620 miles. The average 329,445 miles, years 1999 to 2008. So I think we're seeing a theme there. The early 2000s, Tahoe, Yukon, Suburban, all have proven themselves to be very reliable. Now, the Tahoe, the Yukon, and the Suburban all share the same runnings, the same engine, transmission. The Tahoe is just a 2-foot shorter version of the Suburban and the Yukon. Yukon is the GMC version of the Suburban, Chevy Suburban. But here's what's important about all 3 of those. In 2007, there was a body change, and one of the most common complaints with the 2007 and 2008 models of all 3 of those vehicles is excessive oil consumption. It has turned out to be a very expensive repair for a lot of owners. It involves actually sometimes getting a new engine, which can be a $3,000 to $6,000 repair depending on where you go and what kind of engine you put into it, whether it's new or used. So something to be very, very aware of. In my personal opinion, if I was looking for a Suburban or a Tahoe or a Yukon, I would probably steer clear at least of the 2007 and 2008 models. Make sure to check out places like carcomplaints.com for the model that you're looking for, to make sure that you're not getting into a vehicle with excessive oil consumption. I did notice that there are some newer models getting into 2010, 2011, 2012 that also suffer from that as well. But the 2 biggest years, 2007, 2008. All right, guys, I hope that helps you make an informed decision. I've got a lot more videos coming your way. Consider hitting that subscribe button right below. What vehicles are you guys driving that are lasting a long time? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.